Hello guys, welcome to a new video, and in this video we are going to talk about routing technology. So in the video before, we did this network over here and we talk about LAN. Let's go here. We talk about some LAN switching technologies, and in that topology for the LAN switching technologies, I'm gonna show you what we did. So we did a LACP right here, an Ether channel. We also configure VTP server and VTP clients. We also configure trunk links, added VLANs to it. We also created some VLANs, VLAN 20 and VLAN 10. And we made those fast Ethernet 1 through 4. We made those access port, enable port fast, and also BPD UGAR. I did the same on this side. I also, let's see what I did as well. Let me take a look at the list. So I also did some rapid per VLAN spanning tree protocol. I did some of this root bridge selection where I made a switch, the primary for VLAN 20 and the primary for VLAN 10, and then also did where one of the switches was a secondary for both of the VLANs. Yeah, so we did some VTP like I said before. So VLAN, VTP, rapid PVST, port fast, BPD UGAR, Ether channels using LACP, and that was it. That's what I did on the video before. And if you haven't watched it, go ahead and watch it. It is called LAN Switching Technologies. Just go to my YouTube channel and go ahead and take a look at it so you can catch up with us. But now in this new video, we are going to do some routing technology. So what I want to do is do some router on a stick. And I'm also going to be using ERGRP and also Ospf to configure those. So router on a stick, Ospf, and ERGRP as well. And if you haven't, so go ahead and follow me on Twitter at CCNA Daily Tips. That's where I post everything, all my videos. I also ask some questions and do some quizzes and tests and stuff like that. So just go ahead and follow me on Twitter, and also if you haven't, so go ahead and subscribe to my channel, CCNA Daily Tips, and let's get this started. So let's start with this network. And first, what I actually want to do is I want to add another router over here. All right, so this is going to be the router on a stick that we're going to configure. I'm doing it this way because you are going to see later when I do more configurations. So this router, and this is going to be actually ISP. Let's make this Internet Service Provider 2 and Internet Service Provider 3 over here. And this one is going to be number 1, so that's good. Okay, so this is done. Let's start configuring this, and the router on a stick is going to be the first one that I want to configure. So let's say no, enable config T. Let's give it a host name, right? And the host name, let's put a router on a stick. So ROAS, router on a stick. And from here, what we need to do is what was the we have not configured IP addresses yet. So let's go ahead and start doing that. So on this side, I want to be 10.1.1 or 10.10. Well, let's do it just 10.1.10.1. That's going to be the default gateway for VLAN 10, and for VLAN 20 is going to be this one over here, right? So that's good. And now what we need to do is go ahead and configure these computers to have these IP addresses. So this one is going to be 10.1.20.2, 255.255.255.0, 10.1.20.1. That's a default. We're not going to configure any DNS servers for now. So that was number 2. Let's go to number 3. That's 0. That's a default gateway. This one's going to be number 4, right? So 10.1.20.1. Let's also go ahead and configure this computer over here. It's going to be that 5. Default gateway is this one. All right, so this is all configured. Now let's go ahead to these computers over here, and this one is going to be okay. So I always do it. Damn it, I did this wrong. So give me 1 second. So these ones are supposed to be VLAN on VLAN 10. So we have to configure this to be 10 instead of 20 because I did it wrong. Sorry for that, guys. I always get confused. 10. Let's do the same for this one over here. 10 and 10. All right. So now this is fixed. Now let's go ahead and configure these computers over here. The 20.2, 255.0, the 20.1. Do the next computer. The 3. Next computer. The 4. Let's do the last one for VLAN 20. All right. So this is 5. Okay, no DNS server. So this is done. So this is all configured, and let's go ahead and switch this over here. Okay, so now let's go ahead and configure router and a stick on this router. So the first thing that we need to do is actually go to interface. We're going to put on gigabit 0/0. Let's do the no shutdown, right? And then let's go to this interface, and we have to configure the first sub interface. And the first one is going to be for VLAN 20. You have to do encapsulation that one.q, and after that you have to give the actual VLAN number, and in this case it's going to be 20. And then after you do that, you are able to configure that IP address, and the IP address for that sub interface for that VLAN on a stick is going to be 10.1.20.1. all right, let's do another shutdown like I always do. Now let's go to sub interface 10, and this is for router and a stick on the VLAN 10. And the first thing that you have to enable is do an encapsulation of that one.q, and after that you have to change it to do it for VLAN 10 because we already did VLAN 20. And then you have to configure that IP address for the default gateway. Okay, and you can do a no shutdown as well. So this is good. As you can see, router and a stick should be working. It's still not set up. I'm sorry for that, guys. So what we need to do is go to this switch and make this the link that's going to be connected to the router needs to be trunking, and we need to allow VLAN 10 and 20 through that. So gigabit 0/0/1, switch port mode trunk, switch port trunk, allow VLAN 10 and 20. all right, so let's go ahead and plug these two. So it is on 0/0. This one is 0/1 and 0/0. Okay, so now from this computer I should now be able to ping my default gateway. 10.1.20.1. And there it is working. And we should also be able to ping the default gateway for VLAN 10 from VLAN 20. And we should also be able to ping any computer on VLAN 10, because there you go, because we router on a stick, we are able to reach this this computer over here, because we're actually going out to the router. And since the router knows how to route to different domains, and since it knows that this actually domain is on our same physical location, it's able to send it back down to this computer. So now this computer should be also be able to ping the router .20.1 .10.1, and should be also ping a computer on VLAN 20. Let's go ahead and try that. There it is. So we are able to communicate from VLAN 10 and VLAN 20. All right. So we are done with the first part, which was configure router on a stick. And now let's go ahead and move down and let's actually configure Ospf V2. We're going to keep it V2 so it is simple, right? I want to keep it simple, so let's go ahead and do from here. It's going to be 10.10.10.0/30, and let's actually Control V, and this one over here is going to be 4. All right, let's put it like this, and this one over here is going to be 8, and this one on this side is going to be 12. All right, so let's go ahead and configure Ospf on these 3 switches. So on router on the stick, we have to go to, let's go exit, let's go interface. Let's see on which interface. So we can put it on 01. 01 over here, gigabit 02 over here. This one could be 00 right here, and this one could be, oops, it's not. So let's go ahead and just copy this, paste it right here. This one is going to be 02, 01, and this one's going to be G02. Okay, so those are the interfaces that are going to be connected. So since we now know that I need to go to gigabit 0/1, and I need to configure an IP address of 10.10.10.5, which is the first usable IP address for this subnet right here, and then 252. Now shut down. Let's make this like this, and now we can go to this side over here. The IP address is going to be 10.10.10.1, which is the first usable IP address for this subnet. 252. No shutdown. Okay, so now let's configure Ospf on this router. So what we need to do is, let's just exit out of here, router Ospf, and we're going to do press ID of 1. The network that we're going to add, we need to add 4 networks. We need to add 10.10.10.0, 10.10.10.4, and also I need to add 10.1.20.0 and 10.1.10.0. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's start with this one, 10.10.10.0, subnet mask of 003. Area, we're going to have everything on the same area. Let's go ahead and put this other one over here. Okay. And what we're going to do next is 10.1.10.0, and this one is actually going to be 0.0.0.255. And let's do the next one, which is 10.1.20.0, with the same subnet mask. So we are going to leave it the same. So this is great, it's looking beautiful. Let's go ahead and go to this router over here. Let's configure Ospf, right? Enable config terminal, and from here we can just give it a host name. It's going to be not IPS. I always put IPS. It's ISP2, Internet Service Provider 2, and go interface gigabit 0/1, right? Which is this one over here. And from there, we need to configure IP address of 10.10.10.6 because we already use 10.10.10.5 on this router. 255.255.255.255.2. Now let's go ahead and go to the other one, which is this one over here. We don't have that type. Oh, because this one is not the same router. Let's go ahead and just delete that. Yeah, let's go ahead and delete that. I added the wrong router. Let's add the router that I want that has all the interfaces that I need. ISP2. We have to configure that again. That's no big deal, guys, right? Okay. No. Enable config T. Interface gigabit 0/1. And this one's going to be 10.10.10.6 because we better use 10.10.10.5, right? And 255.255.252 now shut down. Now let's go ahead to this interface over here, and now let's go ahead and configure 10.10.13, right? Which is the first usable IP address on this subnet. Let's do no shutdown. Now let's go ahead and add this router Ospf price ID of 1. We need to add 2 networks over here, and the 2 networks are 10.10.10.4 and 10.10.12. 10.10.10.12. Let's go ahead and do that. So 10.10.10.4, subnet mask of 0.0.0.3, area of 0. The next one is 10.10.10.12, right? Area 0. So this is all good. Let's go ahead and exit. Give it a host name ISP2. All right. So now let's go ahead, and what we could do is cable these 2 bad boys in, and we should be able to form a neighbor relationship after that. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. In a couple seconds, it should form a neighbor relationship between ISP2 and the router on a stick. Router, and I don't see it working. Why not? So 10.10.4.0.0.3. Did I do the same one over here? Yep, here we go. So Ospf 5 process ID of 1. The neighbor is called 10.10.10.5, which is router on a stick on gigabit 0.1 from loading to full. And now we should have this neighbor 10.10.10.13 on gigabit 0.1. All right, so if we go to show IP or show IP Ospf neighbor, you see that we have one neighbor right here, and this is the neighbor ID, which is the ID is chosen by having the highest IP address, and the highest IP address was 10.10.10.13, right? And we can also see show IP routes, we won't be able to see any OSPFs because we have not configured this one over here. So if we configure over here, we should be able to see it. So let's go ahead and configure this router. This router, yep. Enable config T hostname ISP1 Internet Service Provider 1 interface gigabit/2 IP address needs to be 10.10.10.14 because we already used 13 for this subnet 252. Now let's also use this one over here, and for this side I'm actually going to use 10.10.10.10 because I'm going to use 10.10.10.9 on this side of ISP 3. Okay, I did not do it no shutdown on this one, so let's do it right now. And there it is, no shutdown. And now if we go ahead and plug these two in, they are going to, one of them is, let's remember this, is it on 1 or is it on 2? It is on 2. Okay, so did I not do a no shutdown interface gigabit/2? No shutdown, still not working. So let me see, something is not working over here. The interface is red. Let me see, cancel. Did I pick the wrong cable? Maybe I picked the phone cable. Let's go ahead and do crossover cable from 02 to 02. Here we go. I think I picked the wrong cable, which was the phone cable. So now in a couple seconds we can just go fast forward and fast forward again. Okay, so I forgot to, of course I need to do the router or OSPF or router. Let's just exit out of here first. Router or OSPF, and process ID is going to be 1. We need to add 2 networks, which is 10.10.10.12 3 area 0. And let's also add the other one, which is 10.10.10.8 in the same area and the same subnet mask or the same wildcard mask. There we go. Now we should be able to form our relationship. Here we go. We got a relationship with network 10.10.10.13, which is this one over here. And now from this router, we should be able to see a new routing table or a new route using OSPF. As you can see right here, we did not have any. But if we do it again, we should be able to have one to OSPF. Here we go, OSPF, right? And we can reach 10.10.10.12 via 10.10.10.6, so via this interface. Okay, so that's good. Now let's go ahead and go to this one, ISP3. And from ISP3, I going to configure the 2 interfaces. Give it a host name first, ISP3. All right, so from here I can go interface gigabit 0/2, which is the first one that we need to do. IP address 10.10.10.2.252. Let's shut down. Now let's do the other one, 01. IP address is going to be .13. No, .9. I'm sorry for that. Okay. Do a no shutdown. Let's go exit. Router OSPF port FDO1 network is going to be 10.10.10.0 3, then area of 0. The next one is going to be 10.10.10.8, same wildcard mask in the same area. Okay, so now let's plug this in with the crossover cable. And this one is to go to gigabit 02. Up and running, and then gigabit 01 to 01. Up and running. Okay, so let me just go and fast forward. And now from this router, remember the last time we tried to see these show IP route, we got this network, now we should have another network which is 10.10.10.8. Show IP route, and here it is. We have the other network 10.10.10.8 and 10.10.10.12, and this one is via gigabit 02, which is this one over here. And let's also take a look at the show IP Ospf neighbors, and you can see right here we have two neighbors. The first one being 10.10.10.9, which is this one over here, and the second one is 10.10.13, which is ISP 2. Okay, ISP 2. All right, so this is all working great, just the way I wanted it. So now what I actually want to do is, if we take a look at what else we need to do with the router on the stick, Ospf V2, ERGRP, IPv4 should be next. So let's go ahead and do that as well. So if you go over here, I want to add another router. Actually, let's add two more routers. So this router over here and this other router over here. All right, so let's move this over here, and if you want more videos, you can go to my website at CCNA.com. Let's move this over here inside with this over here. Okay, so what I want to do now is actually configure ERGRP and ERGRP over here, and also ERGRP coming out of here. But then I want to redistribute ERGRP to Ospf. And what redistribution is actually like translating from ERGRP to Ospf or Ospf to ERGRP, so those two routing protocol can communicate with each other. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. I'm actually gonna keep going doing this ones. So this one is going to be 13, so we gotta do 16. Then this one is going to start at 20. This one is going to start at 20. All right, but we are going to use ERGRP. All right, this one's going to be, should I use ERGRP or should I? Yeah, let's just use ERGRP and ISP. Let's call this ISP 4, ISP 5. Even though we are using an internal routing protocol. So from here, from here, this router right here, let's say no, enable config t hostname ISP 4. Okay, now interface gigabit 0/0. We're going to have IP address 10.10.10.18. No shutdown. And then on the other side, which is going to be interface gigabit 0/1, we are going to have IP address 10.10.10.20/30. Oop, did I put it wrong? Okay, 255.255.255.252. Okay, so not that 20, actually that 20. Let's go with 2021. So we can just copy this so we don't forget which one we put over here. Okay, so now from this ISP, what we need to do is router ERGRP, and the AS or autonomous system is going to be 10, and these ones actually need to be the same for every router that are going to be connected with each other, otherwise it won't work. Okay guys, just keep that in mind. Let's do a network 10.10.10 dot 16, then 255.255.252. Let's do no outer summary. Let's add the other subnet. That's great. And what we could do from here is actually go to the ISP5 and configure those interface. Oh, it's only one interface for now. Enable config T host name, ISP5 interface gigabit 0/1. I believe it was in the 0/1 that I put the last one. Yep. So let's go ahead and copy this. 0/1 0/0. All right. So 0/1 IP address 10.10.10.22.255.255.252. Now shut down. Exit. Let's do the ERGRP now. Router ERGRP autonomous system 10. Let's start with no outer summary, and then add the network that we need to add. So network 10.10.10.20 255.255.255.252. Okay, so let's go ahead and plug in ISP4 and ISP5 with a crossover cable. I think I forgot to do a no shutdown. No shutdown over here, and I forgot to do a no shutdown over here. No shutdown. Here we go. The interfaces are up, the neighbors are up. So let's go ahead and end. Show IP route. So we have this local. Let's go show IP ERGRP neighbors, and we see that we have one neighbor 10.10.10.22, which is this one over here, ISP5. So now what I'm going to do is configure ISP1. So enable config T, and let's go to interface gigabit 0/0. IP address is going to be 10.10.10. I think 17, since I configure 18 on this one. Yeah, I configure 18, so this one is going to be 17. 252. Looking beautiful. No shutdown. All right. After that, let's go ahead and do exit and do router ERGRP autonomous system of 10. Let's do just no auto summary on the get-go, from the get-go. Then add this network 10.10.10.16 255.255.255.252. Exit out of here, and now let's go ahead and plug in ISP1 to ISP4. Then after that, now we see that we have ERGRP, and we have a neighbor that is coming from 10.10.10.18. If we do an show IP ERGRP neighbor, we have it right here. Let's do a show IP route. You can see now that we have route from Ospf, right, which are these ones over here, a couple of routes using Ospf, and then we have one to this one over here 10.10.10.20, right, which is all the way right here, and we should be able to ping this. So if you go ping 10.10.10.21, I should be able to ping it from ISP1. But am I able to ping it from this router? Let's take a look. 10.10.10.21. And you can see this problem right here. We are not able to ping it. And this is the reason behind this is that since this network over here is using Ospf and this one is using ERGRP, this one does not know how to get over here. And if you do an IP or show IP route, we are not going to see a route to that ERGRP because we are not running ERGRP on this one. But ISP1, it is running ERGRP, therefore it is able to get to that network. So now you think, how can we get a route there? And the way to do it is to do a redistribution. So actually just like translating ERGRP to Ospf and Ospf to ERGRP, so we can get to this network over here, and from ERGRP to Ospf and from Ospf to ERGRP. Okay, so what we need to do it, we actually need to do it from ISP1 because ISP1 is the one that is running both of them at the same time. So it is what they call the autonomous, the AS border router. I think that's what it's called. So the ASBR, this is the ASBR, which is running two different routing protocols. And since we are running the two routing protocols, this is the one that we need to use to translate those protocols, right? So make this big, and what we need to do is let's go to config T. Let's go to router Ospf press ID of 1, and for here we need to redistribute. We're going to redistribute not Ospf but ERGRP, and we're going to do redistribute ERGRP press ID of 10, and we are going to redistribute the subnet. So you need to do here. Now we need to go to router ERGRP autonomous system of 10, and we need to redistribute Ospf press ID of 1. And as you can see right here, it's going to ask us a couple of questions like the metric load, delay, and a couple of questions that we don't really know. I don't really know from the top of my head. So what we need to do is we need to get those numbers from this gigabit 0/1 interface right here. Okay, like the bandwidth, delay, and load, and all that. So let's do a do show IP interface gigabit 0/0. So this one doesn't give us all. So if we do a do show interface, okay, so this one is the one that gives us everything we need, like the MTU, the bandwidth, the delay, the reliability, the load, right? So let's go ahead and do this again. So we are inside the config router. So we are on we actually went to the router ERGRP 10, and then we are going to do now redistribute ERGRP. No, we went to ERGRP router ERGRP 10 right here, and now we are going to do redistribute Ospf since we have all the metrics we need. So let's do redistribute Ospf press ID of 1. We are going to use metrics. The first metric is asking us for the bandwidth, so we can get it from right here. There's the bandwidth, right? Paste that here. The second one is going to be ERGRP delay. So this is, let me see. So this is a little bit different. So it's asking us for metric. Okay, bandwidth. Let me take a look at something first. So press ID 1 on metric. The bandwidth is this. the delay. Okay, so we gotta get the delay. So we have bandwidth. The delay is 10 seconds. What's next? The reliability is actually, if we take a look at the this one over here, is 255. The next question is the loading, and the loading is right here. Loading is 1. Let's go ahead and type 1, and then after that it's going to ask us for the MTU. The MTU, I believe, is 1500 right here. Copy, paste it, and this is it. So we are redistributing Ospf 1 metric, bandwidth, what was the bandwidth, delay, reliability, loading, and MTU. So this is done. Now if we go to this router over here, we should be able now to see a couple of routes to the EGRP network. As you can see, we have 2, which is to 10.10.10.16 and another one to 10.10.10.20. So these 2 over here, because we are now translating, and since it was translated effectively, now Ospf knows how to put it in to the routing table. So now from here, from this routing stick, we should be able to ping this interface. There we go. Now we are able to ping this interface when we were not able to ping that interface before. We should also be able to ping it from this computer over here. So let's go ping 10.10.21 or 20. No, 10.10.10.21. And here we go. So we are able to ping this router all the way over here. Okay, so let me go back over here, and this is it for this video. It got a little bit long, but I was able to explain a lot and configure a lot, so it was a good video. And if you guys are enjoying this video, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Twitter at CCNA Daily Tips. Like this button, share it with your friends, and thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Okay guys, bye bye.